Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, Series 19, Book 1, Kwarg the Stone Dragon. That's right guys, we have begun a very new series of Beast Quest, and here we are, Series 19, and here we are with Kwarg the Stone Dragon. That's how I'm pronouncing the name, because last time I had to edit it out, because I pronounced it, before I edited it, I pronounced it as Kwarg, and it made no sense to me. Because there was an A, no R, no O. So I've repronounced it Kwarg. That's how I'm pronouncing the name. So Kwarg the Stone Dragon. Before I start, I should mention that the note gives us a good explanation. The note at the back gives us an explanation. No, not the note at the back, but the note at the beginning of the book. The note of the beginning of the book gives us a good explanation to why Jezrin is evil, as he was an apprentice to a Dark Master. And the master gave him a dragon egg. When it hatched, he would allow Jezrin to spread his evil throughout the land. That time has finally arrived, but with that being said, let's get to Kwarg, and I'm assuming Kwarg is the dragon egg thing, yeah. Anyway, Tom and Eleanor were happy to be home. They reunited with Storm and Silver, who we haven't seen for a good long while, and plan to visit Erinel, only to find the town deserted and a statue of Petra lay in the village square. First, deja vu moment feels similar to Sultra. That was a book that took place in Erinel and could also turn victims into stone. So let's hope that this book can do something new with that formula. But other than that, what was Petra planning to do here? It doesn't seem Erinel has anything to offer that she'd be interested in, unless there's something we don't know about, but you never know. Tom and Eleanor attempted to free Petra. Luckily the stone was just a shell casing around its victim. It didn't appear Petra was completely stone. Tom does see Petra as an ally now, more than an enemy, and when she was free, she explained she had come here to warn the people of Erinel to leave, as the stone dragon known as Kwarg was coming. However, while the people were getting out, Petra was not so lucky. But Kwarg was not done yet. He was still in Erinel, waiting for people to return. But now, seeing Tom free Petra was the perfect moment to strike. Eleanor's arrows proved useless against the dragon's thick hide, and it's revealed that Kwarg can turn people to stone by shooting out purple fire from his eyes. It's also revealed Tom's shield tokens work again. Well, Petra saved his life, and said that this fire was not like normal fire, and its purpose was to stone its victims. Kwarg could make a powerful gust with his dragon-like wings, but close observation revealed that Jezrin's apprentice, Beric, was riding Kwarg. So I'm assuming Beric is a character from a special, because I haven't met this character till now, and Tom is already aware of him. And the story wastes no time by introducing the beast in the second chapter without any plotting so far, so that's new. Already straight to the beast action, and we've got, I'm guessing, a character from a special, which is Beric. So, I'm assuming he's from a special, because Tom already knows about him. Eleanor went out and made Kwarg blast the fountain, which caused some dust to go into Beric's eyes. This was all that was needed to make the Dark Apprentice retreat, which seems silly until Petra explains that Beric was sent by Jezrin as a decoy, while Jezrin was heading to for the Well of Power, which lay in the kingdom called Draconia, and the only way to get there was via dragon. Tom questioned how Petra knew so much, and she revealed she had a new crow for a friend called Rourke, who she put a spell on so she could see and hear what Rourke sees. Anyway, the people of Erinel came out, and Tom asked his uncle to look after Storm and Silver. While Tom summoned Furno to escort them to Draconia. But Furno warned them that, not even he could protect them from what awaited them in Draconia. I'm guessing that Kwarg is the dragon that hatched from Jezrin's egg in the, either Kwarg is a dragon from Draconia, or he's Jezrin's dragon from the egg. But I'm more inclined to believe he's the egg, because how else would they get there to Draconia for the bad guys? Anyway, Furno took Tom, Eleanor, and Petra to Draconia on a long and dangerous ride. There was a moment where Furno wished to turn back, but Tom said they should press on, for the kingdom's sake. Petra mentioned that Jezrin received a dragon egg from his old master, so I do believe Quarg was that very egg, and its purpose was to give Jezrin passage to Draconia, where he would find the Well of Power. But this plot does seem familiar to the Warlock staff. An evil wizard goes to a kingdom Tom hasn't been to before in an attempt to gain more power from a great energy source. So it does seem a bit similar there. But after the ride, Petra warned them that Quarg and Beric were near. Tom and the others spotted Quarg and Beric and quickly took Furno and flew for evasion. But despite their best efforts, in an aerial battle, Eleanor was caught in Quarg's grip. Tom tried to pull her back, but she told him he had to let go, otherwise she'd be ripped in two. So despite Tom's feelings for his friend, he reluctantly let her go, as she was taken away by Quarg. Tom was going to use the power of his golden boots to jump after her, but Petra said this was crazy, and he would end up killing himself. After a bit of calming down, Tom came to his senses and realized Petra was right. They continued to follow Quarg, and Tom tried to free Eleanor, but Quarg was having none of it, so Furno gave him a taste of his own medicine with firepower and blasted Quarg, which made him drop Eleanor. Tom jumped after her and skydived down. When the moment was right, he summoned Arctur's eagle feather, but looking around, he spotted the environment was very deadly, and he was wondering, did he make a big mistake? Tom and Eleanor were saved by Petra, who righted Furno underneath them to break their fall, and together they landed safely. Our heroes thanked Petra. It did seem she had truly changed size, and was now an ally to Tom. But as the group continued forward, they found Beric out cold. Tom wanted to help, but Petra said that was stupid, but Tom reminded her that they gave her a chance to change. But after a brief moment, of course, it was a trap, as Beric got the drop on Tom and swiped his weapons, but Tom was more experienced and swiped them back. Then Quarg showed up with Jezrin, and as punishment for his failure, he ordered Quarg to turn his own apprentice Beric into stone. Then Jezrin sent an attack at our heroes, but when Furno tried to help, it was redirected at the dragon, and poor Furno got hit. Tom was going to get revenge, but Quarg stopped him, and after a brief scuffle with Jezrin, Tom discovered that Furno's scale did work on Quarg's flame, but in a different way than he expected. It deflected the attack back at Quarg and encased the dragon in stone. This forced Jezrin in retreat, and Tom saw Quarg release himself, now free from evil control. To show his thanks, he revived Furno, and Quarg took flight. Tom, not wanting Beric to die, broke the mouth section of the stone encasing his mouth section, and he says, so he can breathe again, basically. And he left him there as punishment for his evil actions. So Beric is left in stone, still alive, but he won't be moving anytime soon. And as for our heroes, they continued on their new adventure to stop Jezrin from reaching the Well of Power. But there's my little rundown of Quarg. A decent book. I do like the fact that we have Quarg straight up from the get-go, not wasting any time. I do like Petra. She gets a great deal of development from her previous books. And I like Eleanor. She was kind of used more of as a tool this time round, which is a bit saddening. Tom she was used as a plot device for Tom to not, let his emotions cloud his questing skills and all that. But in the end, it was nice to see them pull together. But once again, this is a beast where Tom claims victory by his... I do prefer it when they beat beasts together. And this one was where Tom bet the beast by himself. I should also mention, because I didn't write this down, but I did mention that Tom got a token from Quarg, like a horn or something like that. So it's probably going to be more important in the second book. And that being said, though, this plot, like I said, does feel very familiar with... not only does this book feel similar to Sultra with the stone, the beast that can turn things into stone, and of course it's been taking place in Aranel, but this series feels similar to Series 9 with evil sorcerer goes after magical power to gain more power, and and that same series has Petra in it, that same sort of subplot really. But yeah, other than that though, I think it's a decent start. It's not the best because I can't judge it until I see the other ones, but for what it's worth, it's a nice start. I like Quarg the Stone Dragon, it's a nice start. However, it did butcher for a lot of fans, like, oh look, there's Storm and Silver, we're gonna get them back. Nah, just see them there. Well, thank you guys. Anyway though guys, that was my little read up on Quarg the Stone Dragon. And next time on Beast Quest we'll be continuing on with the Kingdom of Dragons with none other than KORVAX the Sea Dragon. Till next time guys, peace. Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, Series 19, Book 2, KORVAX the Sea Dragon. That's right guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, and here we are, finally, Book 100. That's right, we have done 100. We're finally at number 100. I've done 100 of these Beast Quest reviews now, and it is a tremendous accomplishment. And to be honest, it's all because of you guys. All the support, all the praise. It helps grow the channel. It helps me support, helps me get through these. And it really does help support these out so I can get them out for you guys. So thanks to you guys, I was able to push on and get out 100 reviews of Beast Quest. And here we are, KORVAX the Sea Dragon. I am a bit disappointed that this book does not mention that like it did with Minos, with the 50th Beast Quest, like a little logo saying this is the 50th book, but this doesn't say this is the 100th book. No, can't have that. Oh well, though, that being said though, let's do it for the 100th time. This is Beast Quest Reviews. Tom and friends were continuing their journey to stop Jezrin from reaching the Well of Power, because if he did, he would become invincible, and that would mean bad news throughout the kingdoms. After defeating Beric and Quarg, Petra revealed she could track Jezrin's magic. They rode on Furno for a bit until Furno was getting weaker. It's probably because this environment is not suited for a dragon of his type. Tom instructed Furno to head back to Avantia to recover, while our heroes pressed on. They reached an icy cold coastline, and before anything else they stumbled into a trap. Tom and Eleanor assumed this was Jezrin, but Petra informed them that this was not his style, and just before they attempted to exit the hole, some strange lizard people emerged and accused them of stealing their leader's son. Of course, our heroes said they didn't know anything about this, but once the leader himself fell in the hole, Tom used him as a hostage. In exchange for their leader, they would drop their weapons and lower a rope in the hole, in which they did, and they informed next time they met they would be as enemies. Who wants to bet this missing son has something to do with KORVAX? Probably does, right? Because this has happened a few times before. Our heroes ventured forth, and after fighting the cold, they encountered Jezrin. They got into a brief scuffle and were able to make a retreat to a cave, where they spotted some paintings of dragons. Then further down the cave they met more lizard people. They explained that they respected the beast around these lands, the dragon known as KORVAX. She would attack them if they didn't enter her domain, the icy waters. They also mentioned stuff about Jezrin's master being here, but then the lizard men they had encountered earlier had returned and reclaimed their weapons, and a fight was about to break out. I thought KORVAX was a male, but no, he's a she, apparently according to the people. But before the fight could take place, the Elder broke it up, saying that the humans could help them get the Simon back, the young boy, who Tom mentioned could have been taken by Jezrin as a distraction, while Jezrin drew closer to the Well of Power. But then everyone had heard a fierce roar. KORVAX was approaching. Tom and the others soon met her, and she was a dragon made entirely of ice, which I found confusing. With the cover giving off all this green colour, they then explain that it's the stuff that's behind her that determines her colour. So all this green and blue we're seeing is not her skin, but the environment that's behind her, essentially. But there's more. Not only could KORVAX breathe ice breath, not only was she weak to fire, but it seemed when she swallowed her victims, they remained undigestible, frozen in her ice belly, and one of those victims was the young lizard boy. Tom does get a badass line, "I fear no beast." There was Simon. Well, Simon, wait a minute, I know his name. I'm going to call him Simon, if I could try and remember that. Yeah, Simon. There was Simon. The sea dragon retreated back to the sea, and a rescue operation was sent out to save Simon. Tom, Eleanor, Petra, Rourke, and Vax, who was the boy's father, took a boat and went to go after KORVAX. They were given some flints so they could make fire whenever they needed. After some rowing, they found KORVAX, and after tying a rope around her tail, it was revealed she could melt parts of her ice body by a mere thought, and simply regenerate a new one. With KORVAX coming back, Tom, being a badass, jumps into the freezing water with Nanook's bell to protect him. Tom was ready to fight KORVAX, but he forgot about his crew. That's kind of a bit silly. I do like this bit where Vax says, "Have you dealt with Beast before?" And Petra replies, "He's beaten hundreds." Now if you're going off the main series just on its own, it's 99, but if you're going the overall full series, then yes, Tom has beaten over 100 beasts. But I do appreciate that line was in there for reaching 100 main books. However, one wonders why they didn't mention that on the cover, like with Minus, like I said before. Tom saw that KORVAX had knocked the others off the boat. While Petra, Rourke and Vax were okay, Eleanor was drowning. Tom went to rescue and bring her up, and while the crew took Eleanor to safety, Tom faced KORVAX. He jammed his shield between her teeth, which caused her to retreat. Then he rejoined with the others, and he regained consciousness. Let me rephrase that. He rejoined with the others, and Eleanor had regained consciousness. But KORVAX broke the ice apart from the mainland, making them drift out to the frozen waters. Rourke delivered a torch, and Vax explained they needed the torch as it produced heat, which keeps KORVAX away. Then Tom got an idea. He heated up his sword and threw the torch into the ocean. KORVAX emerged, but she bade me in for a surprise. Tom timed his moment, and just at the right second, and wounded KORVAX badly. He clung onto the sea dragon for a wild ride, which resulted with her wing being chopped off. The two fell to the icy sea and dragged themselves out. Tom had lost his sword and shield, while KORVAX was regenerating her wounds. Jezrin mocked Tom, as he was powerless, and it wouldn't be long before KORVAX recovered. I do question why doesn't Jezrin just leave and get a head start on our heroes to reach the Well of Power. This taunting seems wasteful. Anyway though, Tom was trapped under KORVAX's claw. However, she couldn't eat him as Tom's shield was stuck in her mouth, blocking her jaws to shut. However, she could still crush him. But then, the entire tribe of lizard people came in with torches and pushed KORVAX back. With Tom's leadership, they managed to melt this sea dragon and free the young lizard boy. Not only has they melted KORVAX away, but they had also caught Jezrin. However, he escaped, and Tom said they had to go after him before he reaches the Well of Power. There is a nice joke where Petra makes a fun of how many Tom... Yeah, there's a nice joke at the end how Petra makes fun of the line that Tom always says, "Well, there's blood in my veins," and she's like, blah, 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 let's just go. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for KORVAX, the Sea Dragon. Overall, I think it did okay with it. Had a few scuffles here and there, but nothing too major, I would say. I really did enjoy KORVAX. It was a nice book, and I did like it. Tom, being a hero, he does some brave things in this book, and some foolish ones, like jumping in the water and not thinking of his crew. Okay. And then, speaking of foolishness, Jezrin's an idiot. He has a perfect opportunity to... I mean, when Malvel did this type of thing with its Series 9, he was still on the go. Was it Spikefin? Yeah, he had a water beast like Spikefin, and he was still getting closer and closer to the Eternal Flame. He never stopped to watch the heroes, to my knowledge anyway. But yeah, he always kept moving closer and closer to his goal, while Jezrin here is literally stopping and taunting Tom, and I'm not sure why. Don't you want to get ahead of yourself? But whatever. Eleanor, I do appreciate what she's given. She is getting a damsel in distress moment, but once that's over, she's a pretty good companion, like always. And I do appreciate that it's not just Tom who beats the beast, but the whole tribe goes in to rescue the young boy and help Tom out. Because without the tribe, Tom would have died, probably. I mean, you could say Eleanor could have saved his ass, but Jezrin was there too, so you probably like, if it wasn't for the tribe, Tom would have definitely lost, I would have said. But yeah, there's my little read-up on KORVAX the Sea Dragon. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, go subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell button right in the corner so you can stay in tune with all all Beast Quest related topics, and of course other content on my channel. And next time on Beast Quest, we'll be continuing on with the Beast Quest series of Series 19, and next beast that wakes us is VETRIX, the poison dragon. Till next time, guys. Peace. Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest. Series 19, Book 3, VETRIX, the poison dragon. And we're almost done with Series 19. Great so far. Before I start, 3 things about KORVAX. 1, when it comes to which is better, Korg or KORVAX, I'd say it's more a tie. Both have equal amounts of faults and praises to give, and a proper victor of which, given a proper victor of which is a superior book, it's hard to decide, basically. Second, KORVAX is called the Sea Dragon, but she has more in common with the ice than sea. I know they couldn't call her the Ice Dragon, because they did that with Blaze, but they should have made her name match her power, or given her a new element altogether. And 3, I forgot to mention, last book Tom had acquired a fang from KORVAX before she perished. Well, that being said, let's get to VETRIX. Okay then. Tom and friends needed to get ahead of Jezrin. Luckily, the young lizard boy they rescued knew of a passage that would take them to the Well of Power, called the Tunnel of Doubt. Vax led them to the entrance, but he warned them, all who enter do not return. They entered and sadly lost the torch as its fire died out. Then it got worse when the Tunnel of Doubt's magic started taking its toll, making our heroes argue with one another. Before Tom and Eleanor could kill each other, Petra broke up the fight and informed them that the tunnel's magic had turned them against them, and the reason why it hadn't worked on her was because she had put a spell on herself to protect her from the tunnel's magic. She didn't do it for Tom or Eleanor, as she wanted to see what happened when they were affected by the tunnel's magic. Charming. Anyway, carrying on, they reached the waterfall drop, and Petra informed them this waterfall was the passageway to the next location. They all dived in and spawned at a jungle. One wonders what to expect. I do like Petra. She still plans on helping our heroes while still keeping her dry personality. I like it. Tom and the others swam to shore and soon realized every life form in Dragonia was part reptile. Then, after a bit more pressing on, they found a tree that had been drenched in acid. And there was Jezrin, panicking in fear of the beast known as VETRIX. Tom used the vine to secure Jezrin, but then VETRIX had emerged. Jezrin ordered them to free him so he could help fight off against VETRIX. First, Tom tried talking to VETRIX, and it seemed to be working until Jezrin told them to break him free to help fend off against VETRIX. And despite Petra's protests, Tom released Jezrin, which of course backfired. Jezrin attacked VETRIX, which caused him to attack Tom's group. And while Jezrin ran for cover, Tom got the crap beaten out of him. Petra had saved Tom by scaring away VETRIX and with her magic, but Tom was wounded from the fight, as the poison was seeping up his arm, and despite trying to use Epos's healing power, the result made no change. Our heroes decided they needed to get Tom back home to Daltec so he could heal him. But without a dragon they couldn't leave. One wonders why Tom can't use his shield to summon Inferno, but whatever. Jezrin not only reminded them that he's stuck here too, now Quarg is a free dragon, and the group decide the best way out of here is to tame VETRIX. Jezrin offered a potion which would calm the beast down. First they refused his help, but what choice did they really have? Tom's life was on the line, so they grabbed the potion and moved out. I'm assuming this is a trick. Why would Jezrin wish to leave? He mentions going back to Avantia, but this series has reminded us his goal is to drink from the Well of Power. This is no doubt a plan to get rid of Tom, I bet. Tom got a rope and tried to distract VETRIX, while Eleanor administered the potion down VETRIX's throat. They were successful, but it was revealed that the potion turned VETRIX into another puppet for Jezrin. He revealed he had trouble controlling his dragon. Well, not his dragon, but this dragon, yeah. Jezrin revealed that he had trouble controlling VETRIX, so he tricked our heroes into helping him. He made a run for it, ordering VETRIX to finish off the group, while Eleanor ran with VETRIX in pursuit. Tom spotted some of VETRIX's poison on a leaf, and had an idea. While Eleanor was running from VETRIX, Petra spotted Tom, and she was wondering what he was doing, as he was taking leaves and mud and applying it to his skin. He claimed it was armor. Petra thought he had finally snapped, but when he challenged VETRIX, it was revealed that VETRIX's acid attack was immune to plants. While it seemed there was hope, their victory was short-lived when Tom's wounds were starting to come back and haunt him, and with the powerful attacks of VETRIX beating his weak armor, Tom's big plan had crumbled, and so possibly his life. So it looked like Tom was winning there. It did look like Tom was winning, but because he found out the weakness of VETRIX's poison does harm plants, but eventually, despite his best efforts, he gets the tar kicked out of him again, which I do like. Well, I'll get to that in the explanation of this. But nonetheless, Jezrin, that little twist there, yeah, I kind of saw that coming. But let's see how Tom gets out of this. Tom summoned his inner strength, causing the power of the golden breastplate to activate, pushing him and VETRIX into a lake. It was now a drown-off. Who would hold their breath on before succumbing to the lake's waters? While VETRIX had Tom in his grip, the great poison dragon had finally stopped breathing as he sunk to the bottom. Tom was gonna drown too if Petra and Eleanor hadn't dragged him out. Petra was forced to give Tom the kiss of life, which I'm actually glad she did it, not Eleanor, because I don't want Eleanor and Tom kissing in my head. Bad image. Tom had acquired a scale from VETRIX, and interesting so far, these tokens have done nothing to help, so there must be some payoff on the final book. But that's not all. It's revealed that VETRIX's poison isn't a fatal one, but one that changes the victim's entire flesh into reptile-like skin, which explains why Epos's talon didn't heal it, as the poison wasn't hurting, just changing Tom. And of course Tom's gonna continue on the quest despite his poison. Of course he is. But yeah, I do like VETRIX, the poison dragon. While I did say Quarg and KORVAX are tied, this one easily beats those two out. Because what it does new is interesting. VETRIX is a powerful dragon straight off the get-go. While Tom tries to fight him off, he easily gets the tar beaten out of him. Even when he has a plan to beat this dragon, when he figures out the dragon's weakness to its power, he still gets the crap beaten out of him. And it's only through the power of the golden breastplate and his inner strength that he's able to beat the dragon via drowning at the last possible second. And then you've got the whole thing with even when VETRIX is dead, the thought of him still with his poison on his arm is going to haunt him probably for the next book. So can he pull this off with VETRIX's poison? So even though you've beaten VETRIX, his mark will still be there. And Jezrin, once again, a more deceiving villain. I do like he's going out with a different tactic. Besides, I'm going to send this dragon to go after them. But this time he does something different. He actually tries to trick them, and it pays off well. He gets a powerful dragon, and it really shows off how damaging it can be to Tom. Eleanor and Petra do get more of a main role because they need to help defend Tom in his sick state. And, it's nice to see a balance out between the characters. Overall, though, there's my little go at VETRIX, the poison dragon. I think I did pretty well for it because, it's my best. A few scuffles here and there, but nothing too major, like always. And, yeah, I'm really surprised. And like I said, those tokens, I really am wondering what's going to happen at the end with these tokens, because they're not using them like they normally do. And that's a nice, new, interesting thing that I want to see happen more, where they try to do new things in Beast Quest. But there's my little read-up on VETRIX, the Poison Dragon. And I wasn't expecting to like this book more than the first two. But no, apparently VETRIX is the best one so far, in my opinion. Like I said, it has a powerful beast straight off the get-go, smashing Tom's lights out, damaging him, not just in this book, but continuing on into the next one. Jezrin tricks them, that's a good villain move. Petra gets a moment to shine, Eleanor gets a moment to shine. Pretty much the entire main cast of the four gets a moment to shine here, including the beast. So I have no really negative faults with this one, really. Maybe a few little nitpicks here and there, but nothing major. Anyway, guys, there's my little read at VETRIX, the Poison Dragon. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, go subscribe to my channel, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell button right in the corner, so you can stay in tune for I said Lego again, it's Beast Quest related. All Beast Quest reviews and various other content on my channel. And of course, there's an upcoming Q&A for 500 subscribers, so go to my channel, go to videos, and I'll probably put an annotation to this video, to that video down below, as I do. Yeah, next time we'll be wrapping up Series 19 with the finale. That'd be fun. Stritor, the Skeleton Dragon. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna pronounce it Stritor, even if it has an ST in it, but you know, let's do it. Stritor, the Skeleton Dragon. Till next time, guys. Peace. Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest. Series 19, Book 4, Stritor the Skeleton Dragon. And here we are again with another epic adventure of Beast Quest. So like always, my in-depth story analysis and then my overall thoughts on this epic adventure. Tom and friends were still on their quest to stop Jezrin from drinking from the Well of Power. If he did, he would become invincible. However, Tom was poisoned from his last battle. He was now starting to turn into a lizard-like being. When they tried to check over his wounds, Petra revealed that Jezrin wouldn't go to the well without a plan, as it is guarded by a powerful dragon. Then, when Tom went to sleep, he was suddenly woken when Rourke, Petra's pet crow, was stealing Tom's tokens he had acquired from defeating the other 3 dragons. It was revealed that Rourke was a servant to Jezrin all along, so he could steal the tokens. Rourke left, leaving a dramatic blow to our heroes. Great. Tom and friends were chasing Rourke when they were attacked by a group of buff lizard men, and the book does address the people's race as Dragonians. Makes sense. This was not a good time for a fight. Tom was still wounded with the poison. Petra and Eleanor put up a good fight, but they were overpowered. Even Tom tried, but it was suicide. Tom just received even more pain than his last reaction. Tom was knocked off a cliff, and of course, he manages to just survive, but everyone else presumed him dead. The Dragonians took Petra and Eleanor to the Skeleton Dragon to offer as sacrifices/payment to stop the beast from being angered. Which kind of sounds confusing, because if Stritor would cause havoc on the tribe for not delivering payment, wouldn't he leave his position of guarding the well, allowing Jezrin to get it? Whatever. Tom picked himself up, and using his sword as a crutch, he followed the trail of Petra and Eleanor to the skeleton graveyard. He soon found his companions, but he was then contacted by the Red Jewel, telling him Stritor was here. He was one of the skeletons hiding in the graveyard. Before they could escape, Stritor formed himself, and he was ready for battle. Great. Tom did his best to battle the skeleton dragon, but it was no use. Despite trying to get on the dragon's back, he was quickly tossed off and bumped into Petra. Eleanor's arrows did no such damage either, but they had to defeat Stritor quickly because now no beast was guarding the Well of Power. Jezrin is probably making his move. So, Tom mustered up some inner strength, and looking closely, he spotted some magic, which is connecting to Stritor's bones together. So dodging Stritor's dragon blasts, Tom used the power of the golden armor to knock him to a pile of bones. However, even with their victory, they were hoping they still had a chance to stop Jezrin before he reached the Well of Power. I hope that wasn't the end of Stritor, otherwise that would have been the shortest beast fight in the whole of the series. Because all Tom had to do was, like, we need to do this quickly. We haven't got time for this. Golden armor power. Charge! It smashed to bits. Done. Okay. That's weird. But moving on. Tom and friends chased after Jezrin, but it was too late. He got the jump on them and put them in a force field spell, so they couldn't get out. He then bragged about how his planning of outsmarting Tom. Each dragon contained the ingredients he needed to summon the well, and he stayed away from the well until he had all 3 tokens. This makes sense why Jezrin didn't rush on ahead to the well's location. If he got there faster, he wouldn't have gotten the tokens from Tom. So, the well was summoned, Jezrin drank from the well, and similar to Indiana Jones, a voice says, "He's not worthy." It was Stritor. Luckily, he was alive, and because Jezrin was unworthy, Stritor blasted him to death. So Jezrin is now dead. But Stritor still had a duty to protect the well, and saw our heroes as enemies. I should also mention when Jezrin drank the well, it took away his magic, which released our heroes from the shield spell. So that's some good news. But yeah, that's a nice little bit of how So like Jezrin went to how Jezrin used Tom to go after certain specific dragons, as they contain the ingredients he needed to help access the well. Kind of weird, but I like that planning from Jezrin. It's a nice touch. Stritor shot out his fire blast, and while everyone else ducked for cover behind boulders, Tom used his shield with Furno's fire token to protect him. He joined the others. However, Tom soon realized he had caught fire. While trying to roll it off, Stritor was making his move on our fallen hero, when luckily Petra created a magic ice shield which would temporarily protect Tom and herself. Eleanor shot an arrow which did nothing to Stritor or piss him off, so he left, saying he would be back with more power. Then our heroes turned around and saw to our shock and horror, Stritor was shown to reawaken the dead when in range of skeletons. How do I put this? Stritor was shown to reawaken the dead. When in range of skeletons, they were rising from the dead and charging at our heroes. So, like, what I'm trying to say is, so yeah, Stritor can bring back the dead, but if there's skeletons close by, per se. And luckily enough, considering he's with all these dead victims, there's a lot of skeletons around. So yeah, kind of fucked up. I really like Stritor. He may not be in the story very much, but when he does get his moments to shine, it's damn cool. I like that. Tom went after Stritor while Petra and Eleanor dealt with the skeleton army. Tom decided to lower his guard, luring Stritor at close range. Then when the dragon prepared to fire, Tom quickly leapt for Stritor's ribcage, which is where the dragon's fire source comes from. Stritor tried to shake him off by flying in the air, but it was no use, so Stritor decided if he couldn't stop Tom, he would go after his friends, which pissed Tom off and made him jam his shield into Stritor's fire source. Luckily, with Furno's token, the shield was able to not only stay in one piece, but because Stritor's own fire blast, basically, how do I put this? So basically, Tom blew up the fire source by tricking Stritor, put it bluntly. So that's a nice little trick there. So he turned Stritor's own fire blast on himself, exploding at Stritor. And since Tom was holding on to the shield, he was unaffected by the fiery explosion. However, Stritor was falling. Tom jumped and called on Arthur's eagle feather, but a rock hit his head, and when he landed, everything went black. Tom was taken by his friends to the Well of Power to save Tom's life, but Tom refused to drink it as he feared it would take away his powers, and that he was not worthy. However, it was revealed Stritor survived the fall, and the dragon said he was worthy. Then Tom put it together that there were actually 4 tokens. 3 were needed to summon the well, the 4th being Stritor's fire source, and that one was to prove your worth. Once Tom had discovered that, and proved his worth to attempt to stop Stritor from harming his friends, it was enough evidence to convince the dragon he was worthy. So Tom placed his hand into the well. It healed the poison, and then he drank it, which helped Tom fully recover. I'm assuming he still has his golden armor powers because he's worthy. Like, all the unworthy people get their magic taken away from them, and all the worthy people are able to keep their magic. That's how I'm assuming it works. But of course, Petra had summoned all the good-known dragons to give them a ride home, basically. And, yeah, guys, that's essentially it for Stritor the Skeleton Dragon. I had a few scuffles here and there, but hopefully it came out pretty well, nonetheless. Jezrin's now dead. And again, it's by another dragon. I mean, this is a really funny thing, guys, but every time we have an evil wizard-type character, they're gonna get, the majority of them get killed by a dragon. Malvel, killed by a dragon. Kensa gets shot, Series 14, by a dragon. And now, with Series 19, Jezrin gets shot by a dragon. Sure, each of these villains comes back, apart from Jezrin, of course, because he just experienced his. But I find that very ironic, that it's always the dragons that get the one shot here. Going over the characters, starting off with Tom. Tom is probably the bravest character in this book so far. Well, not so far because it's the end of the quest, but easily with all the pain he's gone through, it's amazing to see him carry on with this big epic final fight. And of course he's able to beat Stritor
It's really incredible how far he's come. He's able to go up to the dragon, blast it with his shield, and able to prove himself worthy of the Well of Power, which is something Jessamine could not figure out or do. So it's pretty impressive. Petra and Elena do get the shaft, but what can you do? They do distract. The only thing major they do that is really useful, I'd say, is save Tom's life. Other than that, though, they basically result to distracting the skeleton army. As for Jezrin, a very great villain. He's up there with the big ones. He's up there with Malvel, I'd say. Very conniving, cunning, and he's always one step ahead. He had a great series in Series 13. And his death was pretty good, I'd say. Pretty good death. And as for Stritor, he's a very good beast. Very cool. Coolest out of the four, I'd say. Able to revive the entire dead. The skull design, the undead dragon. Sure, it's nothing more than a big skeleton, but I think a skeleton dragon is just a way cool design, and the fire breath, awesome. Gotta love it. But yeah, that's essentially it for the characters here. So we'll move on now to my overall thoughts. And I probably will say easily without a doubt that this book, Stritor the Skeleton Dragon, is easily the best. No, not the best. I take that back. It's not the best, but I would say it's a tie. It's a tie with it's a tie with VETRIX. It's funny though because I said Quarg and KORVAX were a tie, and now I'm saying VETRIX and Stritor are a tie. Very interesting, isn't it, how it turns out? But yeah, that's how I would rank the books. So, what's best now is the two final ones are tied for first place, and the two first ones are tied for second place. That's not how I expected the list to come out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one.
Nonetheless, guys, there's my wrap-up of Series 19, Stritor the Skeleton Dragon. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, go subscribe, like good stuff. Hit the notification bell button right in the corner so you can stay in tune with all Beast Quest related topics on my channel. And next time on Beast Quest, we'll be moving on to Series 20, and that series being called The Isle of Ghosts. That'd be cool. And next time we'll be dealing with Zulok, the Winged Spirit. Till next time, guys. Peace.